Okay, so my name is Beecham and I'm going to be doing a YouTube channel called Maid of Stone. I thought I'd better make an introduction first as this is my first video. But basically I'm a music journalist. I'm at Coventry University currently studying journalism and media, and I thought that I would like to sort of venture into this sort of career path. So I've got a little bit on the side as well as doing my usual uni work and, you know, living a university life. So I'm going to be doing a music review channel for indie, alternative and rock music. I listen to all music, but that is the basis of my main listening and also my main sort of knowledge of music. I'm going to do top picks of the week, so there'll be 5 songs that I pick each week on a Monday or a Tuesday depending on how quickly I can get the video edited, where I will basically run down a list of the 5 songs I say that you should listen to in the week. They could be a mix of the old classics such as like 70s, 80s, you know, 60s, whatever, and there'll be a mix of the new, more modern music that's coming out, so that you can see the sort of the steps that the rock music world's taken. I'll also do some album reviews as well, because I think that's quite important. There's a lot of new album releases out at the moment, which I'll go into further in a bit. So I'll do like an album review each week, so that will basically have a little bit of a clip of a song, maybe a little bit of a rundown about it. So yeah, it's exciting stuff. And this is going to be a short video. It's basically just a practice, really. I mean, you can see I've got my white screen and all set up. So I'm going to list 5 songs that I think you should go listen to. You're welcome to. If you don't, then there's probably not much point watching this video. So yeah, I have got my laptop because I'm going to be making notes as I go. So I was reading Q's 2017 review magazine this week, and basically just like a little rundown of the music that's coming up in the new year, and it's really exciting stuff. Like, I'm so thrilled by what's to come. So I thought I'd do a little piece on what sort of music there is that's coming out soon, so what's to look forward to. But the top pick will then be one of their older songs, so you have like a little reminder of the sort of flavour of their music and what sort of style they may be moving into now, what's the differences there. So first of all, Paul Weller. He's bringing out a new album, which is really exciting. I mean, personally, I prefer Paul Weller as part of the Jam, but I just think that's probably because of the way that I've been brought up is just listening to the Jam. So, I mean, like Going Underground, Town Called Malice, all that sort of music is the soundtrack of my childhood. So, Paul Weller by himself, to me, feels like he's missing the rest of his band. So, but yeah, he's bringing out a new album. You know, he's the mod father, so you can expect a certain sort of style of music that he's going to be bringing out, probably with his, you know, rough accent that's going to be shining through his music as usual. And there was like an interview with him in Key where he was talking about it, and he was saying about how it's very difficult to not speak or make comment on the general scope of the world at the moment, so such as the US elections and whatever. So I feel like perhaps there's going to be some sort of song in there that's going to have a political slant, maybe. This week's pick for him would be the Changingman. I mean, that's his solo work, so obviously I'm not going to go into one of the Jam's pieces because I feel like I should pick a song that's actually for him. But Changingman is fantastic to me. I mean, I could say anything about it. It's just that intro at the start, literally, you know straight away that what it is. And as soon as Paul Weller's voice comes in, you're like, there's no denying that you're listening to Paul Weller. And I just hope we get some more of that music, because there's been some stuff that he's done where it feels like he's trying to move into a more pop sort of era, and I feel like that's losing sight of what he is. He's the mod father, so he should be producing his, you know, ruckus boys in the club dancing around, throwing the pints about music, and we'll all appreciate it. Then next is the Killers. Everybody knows the Killers. The Hot Fuss album in 2004 was literally one of the best albums ever. It's got one of the probably the most recent burn tracks, which is Somebody Told Me That You Had a Boyfriend Who Looked Like a Girlfriend. I mean, if that's not going to send you to tears, I don't know what will. I'm assuming the boyfriend had long hair, or perhaps it's another, you know, who knows. But yeah, they're releasing a new album. Apparently, it's going to be heavy. I don't know what that means for the Killers, because I wouldn't really put them in the heavy category. But maybe this means that they're moving into a bit of a Decemberist, perhaps Black Sabbath sort of era of music. Who knows? Although I don't think it will match Brandon Flowers' boy band good looks and obviously the rest of them. So, you know, I thought the most classic Killers song, and that everyone will appreciate, and I probably already know, so you won't even need to go and search for it, is Mr Brightside. I mean, if I think about the times I go to the clubs, every single time I'm there, they put on Mr Brightside and all the lads are there, like clashing their lagers, like telling each other how much they love each other, you know, singing along. Everyone knows the words and they don't know why. And I feel like this song is just, it brings back such strong memories for me, so I'm sure everybody else has got the same thing, so that's my pick of the week. U2 are bringing a new album out, which I'm so excited about because U2 are one of my favourite ever bands. I remember my dad telling me that you won't have an experience such as sitting down and listening to Joshua Tree on record, and I didn't think I would, and then basically my dad bought a record player and I went to my grandma's house and found all his old records, and in there was Joshua Tree, and I sat and listened to it, and honestly, like, time went by and I was just, after that, at the end of it, I felt like I'd had some sort of out-of-body experience. It was fantastic. Yeah, they said that they're bringing out a new album. They said they had 50 songs when they first got into the studio, which I feel like is a little bit intense, so I think Bono needs to calm it down a bit. But apparently they've now whittled it down to 10 or 12 songs. They're just sort of making their tweaks and then they're going to pick ones that they're proud of. Again, Bono said that, and maybe they're going to move into a more political sort of message, obviously with the US elections and stuff. So maybe again there's going to be something in there to rile up the rest of the world. So in that light, I thought that the throwback would be Pride in the Name of Love, as that's about Martin Luther King, and what better a juxtaposition between Martin Luther King and Donald Trump. So that's the song of the week. Also, it's brilliant. Their vocals are fantastic, and there's a bit where he says a shot rings out in the Memphis sky, obviously talking about the assassination, and shivers up my arm, like hair standing on end. It's just beautiful. The Vaccines are bringing out a new album. Now they're obviously, on the list I've just said, they're a slightly more recent indie rock band, but that doesn't, you know, dispel what they do. They're still brilliant, and they've got a very unique sound. I think as soon as I hear a song, even if I don't know what song it is, I'm like, well, that's the Vaccines. You know, I've read so much about how they're changing the scope of guitar music, and I think it's nice to see that people can listen to that in the charts, listen to this sort of indie rock music and not feel like they're listening to rock music. It's nice to see that there's like a crossover there. So the throwback's going to be If You Wanna. That's the first song I ever heard of them. I had it on my BlackBerry Curve as my ringtone, so that's the one that I'm going to go for. And last but not least, Depeche Mode, my babies. Big Guns. I thought I'd leave them till last because when I saw that they're bringing out new stuff, I was so excited because Depeche Mode's music is constantly covered. You know, you've got Personal Jesus with like Johnny Cash and Marilyn Manson. We won't go into that one. And we've got, obviously, Just Can't Get Enough, which unfortunately was covered by the Saturday, so again, that's a little bit of a tough subject to talk about, but still it shows that people out there are listening to their music and wanting to recreate it with their own style. And they're bringing out a new album, and I mean, they've got a very sort of electronic sound, so maybe they're going to move into something a little bit different. Maybe they'll bring out an acoustic album, because I mean, Status Quo did that not too long ago and apparently it was really good. So I'm going to pick my favourite Depeche Mode song, and it's the reason why it's my favourite is because it was on SingStar. I don't remember which one it was, maybe SingStar 80s, and I used to sing it along, and I loved it. It was fantastic. So let's enjoy the silence. I think it just shows their vocal abilities, their musical abilities. I mean, I could say Personal Jesus or Just Can't Get Enough, but they're more common songs, so I feel like I should, you know, edge it back to one of their, what I think is classic, but also slightly unknown songs. So that's the top picks of the week. So this video is a little bit, you know, uncomfortable, probably a little bit awkward and a little bit sort of like I'm staging it, but the thing is I'm trying to sort of get myself used to being in front of the camera. I mean, I'm new to it. I'm new to YouTube, so I'm going to basically start here and see where this takes me, because I plan on taking this on for the rest of my journalistic career, the rest of my life, because it's not work for me. Music is something that I really enjoy, and I mean, I've always had some sort of passion for it. Like in my uni house, the housemates now will play games where we'll play a song and we'll have to guess it within a certain amount of time, and usually within a couple of seconds I've got the song. So it's not even just that my music knowledge is on this, it's on a vast amount, and it's not because I think I'm brilliant or anything, like tooting my own horn. It's just because I have a genuine passion for that music. I also want to apologise about the quality of the video. I'm still getting used to my camera. I think I'm going to buy myself a, well, I think I know, I'm going to buy myself a rifle mic just so that I can pick up my sound a bit better, because I've just listened back and it just sounded a little bit far off, far away. When you get myself a new microphone, I'm going to sort of tweak it a little bit more. This is just, as I said, this is just a practice, so I mean I'm not expecting it to come out as some sort of Grammy award winning film or whatever, but still I want to make sure that I'm producing really good quality stuff, and I think I'd like to see also my progression through from my first video, which I mean, to be fair, I'm not in any embarrassing point in my life, hopefully, apart from the state of my hair, but you know, punk rock and all. So I'm looking forward to seeing how I can sort of work with my camera, work with my character in fact, and build up my Maid of Stone website. I thought I should actually talk about my sort of where my name derives from. I mean, I'm sure a lot of rock fans out there will already know where it comes from, but basically my favourite band of all time is the Stone Roses. I saw them at the Etihad Stadium last year, and I can't even describe to you what that feeling was like. If I hear any song of them now, I feel like I can't breathe. It's like a breathlessness, and it's because I'm so in love with it that I stop taking normal breaths. Like, it honestly, it stumps me. So I was hoping to sort of make a channel around the Stone Roses, since I've also got a tattoo of them. Like, I am a full-blown fan. So I was like thinking Maid of Stone, and I was just going to literally write it as the title says, like MADE, Maid of Stone. And I was talking to my dad about it, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to make a YouTube channel called Maid of Stone. He was like, oh, that's clever. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, that's really clever, you know, Maid of Stone, like MAID, like you're a maid. And I was like, oh, for God's sake. So straight away, he'd already just wiped the floor with my idea and bettered it. So I can't even take credit for the name. I mean, it's probably not even that good, but it's better than what I had. So thanks to my dad there for that one. But yeah, it's from Maid of Stone, my favourite Stone Roses song. I want to have like some entertainment videos where I get some people in. Like, I could get my dad in, to be honest with you, he's in a band, so he'd probably like to come on and do some sort of game with me or whatever. My housemates have also shown some interest. I mean, we have very vast music taste, so I think it'll be quite interesting to see what their take is on Indian alternative and rock music, whether they even know any of the songs, because I plan on going back to, you know, the Kinks, you know, all that sort of music. So I don't know whether they'll even know that sort of stuff. Hopefully she'll know the Kinks actually, but you know what I mean, like sort of the 60s, 70s stuff, less likely to know it. Like, I'm sure they don't know who like Rainbow is, or I can't even like think of it now, The Cult, like, you know, that sort of music. I'm sure they've got no bloody idea about what it is. So hopefully do a little bit like that. I just want to give a platform for not only a female voice, because I've looked and I don't really think there's any female music critics out there on YouTube, so you know, maybe this is a gap in the market that I'm going to be moving into. But I also want to give a voice for indie rock and alternative music on its own, because I mean, I've seen a lot of other YouTubers who like critique music, correct me if I'm wrong, sort of do a vast scope of music or have a very strict genre like rap or hip hop, and haven't seen anything for this sort of rock circle of music. So not only is it something I really enjoy, it's actually something that I don't think is out there. So there's such a wide range of rock fans. I mean, you've got the people who were there at the time who love the music, and you know, who probably aren't as in tune with what's going on in terms of modern releases, and you know, that sort of the sort of progression of the music. Whereas I think there's also the younger sort of newcomers into the indie rock world or whatever, who don't even know where their music's sort of background's from, like where the inspirations are from. I mean, I was talking the other day to my friend, and he was playing like a house song, I can't even remember what it's called, and I was like, oh, this is a Tune by Army song. I was like, this is Our Friends Electric, and he was like, what are you talking about? And basically they sampled the sort of Freak Like Me Sugar Babes version of it with that backing track, and then made a house version of it, and he didn't even know where it had come from. And I found that so bizarre to think that, you know, you think this is a whole new song. Like, and also when Paul McCartney did that song with Rihanna and Kanye West, everyone was like, oh, Paul McCartney, like his career's gonna be made now because of Rihanna and Kanye. Like, I'm sure that Rihanna and Kanye West were so thrilled to be working with Paul McCartney, because obviously he is, you know, he's a bloody fossil in the whole music world. Like, the Beatles created the scope for a lot of music in itself. Like, I'm sure 90% of people out there will cite them as one of their, you know, inspirations. So I feel like people need to have a better understanding of what rock music actually does, and the fact that it's not just a subjective genre. Like, it has influenced so much more than what you would imagine. So that's what this channel is going to be. I mean, I want to have engagement from you lot as well, whoever's watching, mum and dad, because I want there to be the same sort of community of rock that there was in the days of the mods and the rockers and, you know, the Teddy Boys. Like, there was such a community about it, and I feel like that's losing a bit. I feel like it's not about that sort of music anymore. I mean, there's probably stuff out there, like venues out there where you can go and listen to rock music, and there's probably like fan clubs and all sorts of stuff, but there would be times where people would go down to gigs and they'd be sat listening to the Sex Pistols and they wouldn't know who they were, or it'd be Nirvana and they wouldn't know that this band was going to become something big. So I want to be able to talk about this, and then to see where those artists that are coming, like newcomers, are going to go. Like, that would be really exciting to know that I've spoken about somebody and then next year or so they've hit America, or they're releasing a debut album and they've gone platinum. Like, that's just so exciting for me. And I want to, you know, celebrate those musicians who are still bringing back those old values of rock. So that's my final sign off. I just wanted to comment about the whole issue, and really looking forward to working with you lot and with the rock community. So thank you. I'll see you soon.